So when you think about what we just applauded for, if you know that you can stay anabolic and change the response in size, strength, power in your trained musculature, if you can start doing that now, why wouldn't you? You know, Stan and I had the opportunity to be involved with a financial investor when we were really, really, really young. And he talked about the power of putting away just a little bit of money that you would really never miss. And how over the course of time, that investment would grow so quick. Friends, this is the same thing with your training programs now. Start investing in your strength today. And I know that sounds weird that you don't really want to think about it till it's time to all of a sudden. So many people don't think about retirement until they try to retire and then they have no money. My goal is to get as much money as I can so that while I'm still as young as I can, I have money to go do crazy things. So between rat-holing money for savings and killing it in the gym, I'm going to do the Grand Canyon rim to rim and not bat an eye about having to train for it or having to save for it. Because little things along the way make a big difference. Invest in yourself, put some money away, put some strength in the bank every day. Put some strength in the bank every single day. It goes on. The increase of the anabolic hormone concentrations. Time out. What are the 4 anabolic hormones? One voice. What are the anabolic hormones? Testosterone, growth hormone, insulin growth factor, and insulin. You can change that. You can invest in your strength, but you have to do the work. Check this out. You've got to do heavy resistance exercise to signal those interactions. The heavier, the better. Guess what heavy strength training does? It helps you create more receptors. And if you have empty receptors, what is that going to signal the factory to do? Make more. It's supply and demand. If I have empty receptors, you're going to crank more production. If you all of a sudden have receptors that are not going filled, what do? They send a message to the factory to do what? Stop making product. Your body will respond to whatever you ask it to. Now, flip over to page 75. Now, I would love to think that you're going to learn more than one thing in this class. But if you learn one thing in this class, I want you to learn the 5 bullets that are in the right-hand column of page 75. I refer to these as the Fab Five. I guarantee you can walk up to anyone that has had this class and say, what is the Fab Five? And they better recite them to you. And I guarantee you they can. So think about this as it relates to the Fab Five. If you want to stimulate an anabolic response, if you want to invest in your strength, if you want to create new receptor sites, you have to do exercises with large muscle groups. You guys, the Bubba bicep curl isn't gonna do it. Y'all know Bubba walks in the gym and the first thing he does is the curls for the girls. That is not going to create any significant response. Okay? You've got to do deadlifts, you've got to squat, you've got to do power cleans. This goes back to my philosophy in life. If you're not squatting, you're not winning. If you're not squatting, you're not winning. If you're not squatting, you're not winning. Guys, you got to squat twice a week. Don't skip leg day. It's a joke in the bro world, yes? Don't skip leg day. You guys, use the large muscle groups. Guess what? What kind of people are you? Okay, so I'm going to just say that my glute musculature is bigger than my bicep musculature. True or false? Okay, so here's the thing. If there's a larger mass of muscle there, I'm going to bet there's the potential for more receptors there. So if I can turn on 12 times more receptors by using my glutes, why would I miss that opportunity? Because guess what? Those receptors, a lot of supply, bring on the demand. They want it, send it. So whenever we do these things, whenever you kick off this testosterone change by getting in the squat rack, by all of a sudden power clean, deadlift, and do it heavy, you are turning on the factory for testosterone. You're telling your anterior pituitary gland, this chick needs some growth hormone. She crushed it in the gym today. It's telling you, insulin-like growth factor, it's saying, hey, she tore it up in the gym today. Hey, send her some insulin-like growth factor because that's going to help her repair. Then she's going to eat quality nutrition, and that insulin is going to say, stay anabolic in the musculature. Now here's what's interesting about insulin. Insulin is an anabolic hormone. It's anabolic. Okay, what does anabolic mean? Okay, just like insulin can build up musculature, insulin can build up fat. And that sounds crazy that you can build up your fat stores. But you can build up your fat stores, and it's all insulin's job to determine which way it's going. And it's what you tell insulin to do. Insulin is going to do whatever you ask it to do. And you ask insulin to do things by what you put in your mouth. People say, I don't know how this happened. Look at what you just ate, jackwagon. Come on. You chose this. Don't be mad at me because you made the choice to eat donuts after you crushed it in the gym. That insulin can't, all that, you eat that donut after you crush it in the gym workout, all that insulin can do, it can't store it in the muscle because nothing in that donut has an amino acid in it. That's straight sugar. It's going to stick it in your fat stores. You guys, this even happens with ectomorph people. Remember skinny fat? We talked about skinny fat. You can anabolically build your fat stores. And people would say, no, you can't. Think about it. You can. You've got the best anabolic fat on the planet. You're still fat. You're still fat. Okay? So you got to do large muscle groups. What's number one? Large muscle groups. What's number one? What's number one? Number two, heavy resistance. You guys, you got to get heavy. You've got to get heavy. But I want to put a pause on this right now because I want you to listen. If you're not used to doing max reps, don't start that tomorrow. Okay? There's this thing called progressive overload. The opposite of that would be aggressive overload. If you all of a sudden get so motivated by today's topic that you all of a sudden go and try to start working out at number 3, okay, you're going to get injured, which means your receptor sites are not hungry because you can't do the work. Okay? Number 1, if you're not strength training at all, start here. Start here. Okay? Start to turn on those receptor sites. They're like, ooh, something's going on here. I better respond to what he's asking me to do. Then move to here, and then move to here. Okay? Progressively overload, not aggressively overload. Now, once you're to a point where you're training this hard and this heavy, that's whenever you have to keep sending the stimulus to the system. Okay? So what's number 1? Large muscle groups. 2, heavy resistance. Heavy resistance. But you're going to do it progressively, not aggressively. Excellent. Okay. Moderate to high volume. Now, how do you determine the volume of your workout? Does anyone know? Okay. Sets times reps times weight. Okay? So if I'm doing, let's just put a number here, let's put 100 here. Let's say that's what I'm squatting right there. Because let's say you're a new person to that. Okay? So the volume on a 5-set, 5-rep, 100-pound squat. Okay? So I go 5 times 5 is what? 25 times 100 is what?
2,500.
Very good. Now, there's a reason that I want you to keep up with the volume of your workout. If the volume is consistently not being cranked up in your workout, you're not stimulating new receptors. Okay? So let's just say as I get stronger here, let's just say that now I'm going to all of a sudden add, the next week I'm going to add a 6th rep to that because I'm going to progressively, not aggressively overload. Okay? So by doing this, what did I do to the volume of my workout?
And 500.
Very nice. So now it's what? Now it's 3,000. Keep up with the volume of your workout. Because you know what? If you keep up with the volume of your workout, when you stop changing, you'll be like, oh, no wonder the volume went down. I'm not making new receptors. You've got to be building new receptor sites. Okay, so what's 1? One voice. What's 1? 2, 3, moderate to high volume. Oh, number 4. Remember how I mentioned rest periods earlier? Okay. Friends, how many of you have seen your buds over in the gym and they will do a set, they'll walk over to the water fountain, talk to their friends, hey, what are you doing tonight? What are you going to wear tonight? You want to go shopping? What are you eating for dinner? I don't know. You want to go to the bar later? Well, maybe. Okay. I got a test tomorrow. And before you know it, if you look at that 1 hour block of time that they worked out, they might have only moved for about 17 minutes of that hour. How many of you work out on a timer? Thank you. One hand went up.